I don't know if this angle works, but we'll make it work. First of all, let me just apologize for coming to you guys barefaced. I literally just got back from work and I don't have the energy or strength to go and start applying makeup. So you're going to have to manage this video like that, okay? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oiza and I'm the Nigerian girl. I'm a lifestyle vlogger based in Kaduna, Nigeria. So this video is a highly requested story time, which a lot of people have commented about in my previous video. What better time to do this than now? So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys all about my proposal. I hope you stick around. I hope you like this video. Comment down below and subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's get right into the video, okay? This happened about 2 years ago. This was in 2020. So let me give you guys a quick backstory before we get into like the main story, okay? So in 2019, I moved to Lagos for NYSC. I think I even vlogged that self. Yeah, I vlogged it. And deep down, when I moved, I was really concerned about my relationship. Like I kept asking myself, would this work? Because I've never been a fan of long distance relationship, but I had to endure it because I mean, that was the only way my relationship could work, right? Shola is my husband's name, by the way, in case you didn't know. So Shola and I met in 2013 and we started dating like ever since. So we dated for about 8 years, 8 years or thereabouts, I can't remember precisely, before he eventually proposed. So let's say 7 years into the relationship, I was always feeling doubtful. I felt like I didn't know where it was heading. I felt like I always needed to be assured or reassured rather that, okay, this was heading somewhere, because I didn't want to waste my time, you know. So when I moved to Lagos, I kept wondering and asking, is this gonna work? Like, I need to know what the plan is, you know. I'm a Lagos babe now, like, I'm a hot chick, you know, so I need to know, bro, like, do you have plans for me? Do I settle into Lagos? Do I find an apartment? Do I, you know, get comfortable in Lagos? I was just, you know, asking questions. This was around when COVID was just about to kick in. He always felt like, why don't you just sit back and relax and enjoy where this is heading rather than asking too many questions. Every time he said stuff like this, he always pissed me off because I'm like, I want to know where we're going. What plans do you have for me? One of the last times I asked him, we had this big argument. After we had that big argument, I felt like, okay, I should just move on. It was a very tough decision, but I felt like it needed to be made, you know, so that we could both understand why we needed each other or why space was necessary for us at that time. So yeah, we took that break and I was miserable. I kept asking myself, God, did I do the wrong thing? Like, what have I done? How about I not go and pour sand inside my own garri by myself? One thing I learned from that is the fact that what will be, will be. If it's God's plan, it will definitely come to pass according to his will. Now to the main gist. So we got talking again, say sometime around June 2020. We hadn't officially come back together, but like we were talking to see how things would go and to give it a try again, I guess. He goes, oh, what plans do you have for your birthday? Come to Katie for your birthday now. And I'm like, okay, I don't even have any plans after all, so I mean, I could just come. I mean, it won't even hurt because I'll use the opportunity to see my folks. I hadn't seen them since like COVID. And you know, COVID started around, was it March? I think it was March or April, thereabouts. I was initially meant to come home for Easter, but I couldn't come because of the lockdown and stuff. Honestly, my lockdown was very miserable because I spent almost half of it crying myself to sleep, trying so hard to meet new people, like weighing my other options, hoping that I hadn't made like the worst decision of my life. So when we started talking, like it felt like there was some light. It was then around that period I knew that I really did love this man. Fast forward, he's like, oh, come to Katie. So he bought me a ticket. I came and it was really nice to see him again. You know, when you haven't seen somebody in a while, I felt butterflies in my stomach. So I came to Katie, and then on my birthday morning, as it was custom, he gave me like a very nice surprise. They literally came with banana.
Parana. You did not come with the parana?
At all, sir.
You did not come with the trumpet? No. The drums?
Not at all.
So I should use my voice to be singing happy birthday?
I was so shy. I was like, oh my God. Around like 6 a.m. we're still doing morning devotion. And I was hearing parana outside the door. So it was really thoughtful. It was nice. He does that like literally every year without the parana though. Breakfast tray and a cake. It was really nice. And I thought that was all. I didn't know that he had like big plans in store for me. So he's like, oh, I want you to get dressed. I want to go and get some paintings, but I'd like you to come with me so you can help me pick out some. I didn't even think much of it because honestly, like at that point, I didn't want to have any expectations because I didn't want to be heartbroken again. And I didn't want to push him by asking any more questions. I just wanted to, I was in like a Zen space, like really. So I got dressed around like 10 a.m. or thereabouts. He came to pick me, and so we drove to this far away place. And in my mind, I'm wondering, bros, where you carry me to? Like, is it from Japan? You want to go and buy paintings? Why is the place so far? He's like, calm down. You see the place now. We'll get there. He parks outside the gate and he's like, I have a confession. There's no painting, but I want to show you something that I've been working on. And I'm like, okay. I knew that he couldn't hurt me, obviously, so I wasn't bothered. But like, I really wanted to know at this point what he had in store. So he opens the gate and he drives into the yard, and it's a house. It's like a newly completed house. So he goes to open the back door and then he calls me. He's like, come down now. So I come down and he takes me through the back door because he didn't have the key. I don't know, I think there was something wrong with the keys to the front door. So he takes me into this house through the kitchen door, and oh my goodness, you guys, the house was so beautiful. The house is so beautiful. Everywhere was white. It felt amazing being in there. And he's like, this is what I wanted to show you. I was working on this for a while and I felt like now that it's completed, I want you to see what I've been working on. So I was like, wow, oh my God. So you mean this is all yours? I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I didn't even know that he had the capacity to, you know, do something like this. I was genuinely happy for him. At this point, I didn't even think of anything, honestly. Like, I was just genuinely really happy for him, you know? So he gave me a tour and then we ended up back in the kitchen. So I was still amazed at the state-of-art elements in the kitchen, the double door fridge. So I opened the fridge and I'm going through like in awe of the size of the fridge and stuff. And then I turn around and he's right there on one knee behind me. I cannot explain the emotions that was going through my mind at that point in time. I was shook. Like I said, palpitating. And then he pops the ring case and he's like, Oiza, please say yes and let's make this house a home. You guys, I couldn't even cry. I always thought I would have like a dramatic, princessy kind of proposal. But this was so intimate and like, it was so surreal. And I look at my hand and I'm like, yes, please. So I give him my hand. I'm like, yes, please. And he put the ring on my hand and it was such a beautiful ring. I'm inside the picture here. It was amazing. So we sat there in the kitchen and prayed and we talked about a bunch of stuff, and it dawned on us there and then that it's really happening. We're finally getting married. And it was amazing. I think it was then that I began to cry. I don't know if I cried. He may say otherwise, but I don't remember crying. So yeah, it was so amazing. And then afterwards he drove me home and I went to break the news to my family. It was such an amazing time. It was literally a wonderful weekend. I think it happened on a Friday. My birthday was on a Friday on that year. So at the end of the weekend, I eventually flew back to Lagos, and that was how my single life ended. Like, you guys, and to think that while I was in Lagos, I was desperately looking for an apartment. And you know how house hunting in Lagos is. Like, I saw so many horrible apartments. I saw some nice ones with like ridiculous prices. Like, I was just amazed at how much God had plans for me. And from then on, it's been from different amazements to different surprises. I don't know how to explain it, you guys. Like I just feel so grateful. I feel really happy. So he literally proposed to me with a house. You guys, like, we have a house. We're not paying rent in this day and age in Nigeria. It's a wonderful thing to have, honestly. I don't know if I'm in the place to advise anybody. Just pray that God's will should be done in your life, and I'm pretty sure God's will be done in your life. So yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this story time. I have a whole bunch of other stories to tell you guys. I should probably do like story times every now and then, right? So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please drop me a comment down below, like this video, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.